What do you do when a customer messages you and says there's an issue with the item? Let's get into it. If it's your first time on the channel, my name is Ryan. I'm a full-time reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Depop. And in today's episode, we're pretty much going to talk about customer service and how we're going to deal with certain issues. The first issue, and these are all real life experiences that I've recently gone through. The first one is before you even send out the item. And I think it's important to understand that we're all human, we make mistakes, things happen, and they will probably keep happening because sometimes things get missed. So the first thing was I got an item that I was getting ready to ship out, and at the corner of my eye, I noticed that one of the pockets was kind of torn. So I pulled it out and I was like, oh man, these are thrashed. I mean, then I looked at the other side and it was thrashed, and I was like, oh man. And you never want to disappoint a buyer. You want them to get the item that they're ordering. So I messaged the buyer and I said, hey, while I was getting your item ready to package up, I noticed that these pockets are just toasted. I mean, they're falling apart and things like that. And if you would like, I could go ahead and send a partial refund and still send out the item today. Or if you'd like to cancel, I completely understand. And they messaged back and said, hey, no problem. I would still like the item. And so I'm going to go ahead and ship that item, and I'm going to go ahead and refund them that partial because that I missed it, you know. And I could have just asked them without offering the refund, and they might have still taken it. But I feel like it was my duty as a reseller to kind of be honest with it that, hey, I messed up and I want to make this right because I missed this. And it's not like a holy grail where you need to have, it's okay if it's flawed. Like if it's flawed, it might be hard to sell. So I went ahead and I'm going to ship the item, and I'm going to go ahead and refund them $10 off their purchase. And hopefully when they get it, they're happy with the item. So that's the first thing. Second thing is when a customer gets an item and it's not as they expected. So I had a customer, they got a blazer from me and they said it smelled like cigarette smoke. And it's possible it could have, or they could not, it could have not been. I don't really know unless I got the item back, but blazers are kind of heavy, and when you're shipping on eBay, sometimes they can get kind of iffy. And I just really didn't want that INAD. So I asked them, you know, hey, what's a solution that we can come to? And they all said, you know, maybe a partial. I don't really like doing partials, I will say that. I'm not a big fan of partials. I rather kind of just get the item back. I'd love to know what you guys do in this situation. But in this one, because it's not a big name blazer or anything like that, I said, you know, I could do a partial. What kind of partial are you thinking? They said like $15. And I was like, okay, that seems reasonable. And so I went ahead and refund them that portion. They're happy with the item. They're going to take it to the dry cleaner, and hopefully they can get that smell out. And I even explained, we are dealing with so many different scents all the time that it's kind of hard to really notice things. I smell so many different type of detergents that people use, or even just smell cleaning supplies, really, that sometimes you miss certain smells. And I understand that you don't want to sell an item that's stinky. Like obviously if it like reeks, I can smell it. And for people that are non-smokers, they can really smell that cigarette smell. Or people that are allergic to different detergents, they can really smell that detergent. I try to wash a lot of my used clothes because of this reason, and I use a non-fragrance laundry detergent. So in this situation, I went ahead and refund them as well. The third one, now this one's a little tricky. I got a message from a buyer over the weekend, and they said, hey, this item is brand new with tags, just like you said. It was for these size 38 shorts, but when they got them, they sent me a picture of them measuring it, and it was only 32 inches. And even in the listing, I put my own measurements that it was 38. And yes, I do measure brand new tag items too for my listings for kind of this reason. Now, I was looking at the picture and I was trying to see if there was any creases or things like that, like maybe they folded it somewhat. And it got me kind of thinking. At first, looking at the photo, I'm like, well, obviously it does say for 32-inch waist, but I'm like, I don't really know for sure. This might be a scam. Or it might not be. I'm like, did I mess up the measurements? I'm not really sure. But kind of like thinking how shorts are, because they're round, obviously. He could have kind of crimped the back to get it where it only looked like 32 inches, where he's measuring. I'm not saying he did this, but I'm just saying I did measure in advance, and I really take care of when I do measurements. So in this situation, I said, if you'd like to open up a return, you are more than welcome to open up a return. If I get them back and I measure them and they are 38, I will go ahead and report the buyer. If they are 32 inch, which I really don't think they are, then, you know, I'll just refund them and apologize and go about my business. That's how I'm going to handle this situation. I'm still waiting to hear back from this buyer because I just messaged them today. They messaged me over the weekend, which obviously I was trying to enjoy the weekend. You can't constantly work, I will say that. I mean, you could, but you're gonna burn yourself out. You need to kind of build a schedule for yourself. So this is 3 ways I handle customer service issues. I'd love to hear what you guys think and how you would handle these situations. Please give this video a like if you like it. Please comment below and subscribe if you want to catch more content like this. We'll see you next time. Bye.